Budgeting for an indie film involves a lot of making the decisions like, what should I spend the money on and what should I skip? So just going to give you a couple spend and skip. The first thing I'll say that you want to spend the money on, especially when it's low budget or micro budget, is catering. You don't want to skimp on catering, because if every single day you're doing just pizza or, salads or something like that, something that's cheap, it's not going to give the people the energy that they need to make it through the day, the cast, the crew, everybody. So it may be one of those situations where everything else is going wrong, but people are like, you know what, the food's good. And if you have the good catering, which I've tried to on every film, big and small, that I've worked on, that is something that people will appreciate, and they'll stick around and they'll have more energy throughout the day. Let's go to something that you would maybe skip spending money on, and that is locations, especially when the film is really small. You want to try to get locations for free as much as possible, or close to free. If you are spending a ton of money on a location, that could be tough, and it could take a significant chunk out of your budget. So the best thing you could do would be to get a location for free. The second best thing would be to get a location for a reduced price, or an extremely reduced price, so that you're not losing any of that production value. See, the key with the production value is, a mansion, if you're shooting in a mansion, it's going to look like a mansion whether you paid $50,000 a day to rent it or you paid nothing because it was a connection that you shot. It's still going to have that production value. Something to spend money on would be your essential crew. I always call these people like the gold star crew people. These are the people that you have worked with in the past or have come highly recommended to you, that you know are solid and they're going to get the job done. They're not going to complain. And I can think of some in my head right now that I know I've worked with multiple times, and I'm always like, they're going to do a great job. Those are the people you want to spend the money on and pay the extra money if you have to, because it's going to make a difference. As far as skipping goes, the other thing that I will say that's super important is skipping anything that doesn't directly show up on the screen. And that could be things that maybe somebody told you to get for your low budget or micro budget film, and you don't necessarily need, like production completion bonds, right? At the end of the day, that completion bond is going to be worth nothing when the movie's over. And on that note, when we were going through COVID, there was that kind of COVID compliance officer role that was on sets. And I understand that it's smart to do those checks, and if somebody got sick, it's a very contagious disease and would have spread and all that. But we were getting pitches, because we did a movie during COVID, and we were getting pitches on people that were like militant about it. And all I could think of is the second the last day's done, and we say, okay, this is a martini shot, we finalize it, we go cut. That person's, all that stuff, it will never be seen. So anything that doesn't go on the screen, that's not going to affect your production. Like in this case, like I said, you couldn't completely ignore the COVID stuff because it was an issue, but you didn't want to overspend on that. You don't want to overspend on anything that's not going to make it up on the screen. That is essential for when you are making an independent film. Now I can go on, spend on this, skimp on that, skip this and that, and go back and forth. But the bottom line is, you have to remember, you can have 50 crew, you can have one person in your crew. If the shot looks the same, no one watching the movie cares how many crew you had, cares how many things you had in the background, cares what your completion bond looked like, any of that stuff. It only matters what's on the screen. Hey everybody, quick pitch on the Movie Producer Mastermind at Filmmaking Stuff HQ. If you want to learn how to finance your film, make your film, and then sell it and distribute it, this is where you need to be. It's the ultimate resource for putting your movie together. If you want to make your dream come true, you're going to want to check it out. Also, hit like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We put up new free content every week.